Deep inside the secret ice caves, the glowing chamber trembled. The crystal of winter floated in the air, shining bright blue like a frozen star. Snowflakes slowly drifted around it, sparkling in the cold cave light. But dark cracks had spread across the crystal. Black frost crept along its surface. And standing beneath it was the mysterious shadow frost spirit. Its icy body was tall and jagged like broken ice cliffs. Cold blue fire burned inside its glowing eyes. Foxy the snow fox stood bravely in front of Lumi the Arctic hare. "You can't take the crystal," Foxy shouted. The shadow frost spirit laughed, a deep echoing sound that bounced across the cave walls. "And who will stop me?" it said slowly. "You?" The cave trembled again. Small pieces of ice fell from the ceiling. Foxy looked up at the cracking crystal. If it shattered, winter itself could be destroyed, or worse, frozen forever. Foxy lowered his body and prepared to move. "Lumi," he whispered. "Yes," she replied nervously. "Stay behind me." The shadow frost spirit slowly lifted one arm. Dark frost spread across the ground like creeping shadows. "You have come far, little fox," the spirit said, "but this cave will be the end of your journey." Suddenly, the spirit slammed its icy hand on the ground. Boom! Dark ice spikes burst from the floor. Foxy quickly jumped aside. "Run!" he shouted. The spikes shattered the frozen floor where Foxy had stood. Lumi hopped behind a giant ice pillar. The shadow frost spirit raised both arms now. The cave grew colder and darker. "Let us see how well you survive the power of eternal winter," the spirit growled. Foxy's mind raced. The cave was filled with giant ice crystals, glowing pillars, slippery bridges, and dark shadows. Then Foxy smiled slightly. Hide and seek, his favorite game. Foxy suddenly dashed across the icy floor. "Catch me if you can," he shouted. The spirit snarled and sent a blast of icy wind after him. Foxy slid across the frozen ground and disappeared behind a giant crystal pillar. The shadow frost spirit stomped forward. "Where did you go?" The spirit searched the cave, left, right, but Foxy had already slipped behind another ice wall. Lumi watched quietly from behind the pillar. Foxy was using the cave like a giant hide-and-seek maze. The spirit turned again. "Come out, little fox." But Foxy had climbed onto an icy ledge above the spirit. He whispered down to Lumi, "Now." Lumi hopped quickly across the cave and kicked a small glowing crystal. The crystal rolled across the floor. The spirit turned toward the sound. "Ah, there you are." It rushed toward Lumi, but suddenly Foxy jumped down from above. He landed on a tall frozen pillar near the crystal of winter. "Hey!" Foxy shouted. The spirit spun around angrily. Foxy grinned. "Wrong place." The spirit roared and rushed toward him, but Foxy quickly darted behind another glowing crystal, disappearing again. The spirit searched furiously. "You cannot hide forever." But every time it turned one direction, Foxy appeared somewhere else. Behind a pillar, above a frozen bridge, inside a shadow. The spirit grew angrier. "You are only delaying the inevitable." Foxy glanced up at the crystal. The dark frost was spreading slowly across its surface. They didn't have much time. Suddenly, Lumi shouted from across the cave. "Foxy, look!" A glowing beam of blue light still shone from the center of the crystal. It pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. "The crystal still has power," Lumi said. Foxy understood. If we break the dark frost, the crystal might heal. But the spirit was standing right beneath it. Foxy looked around the cave quickly. he noticed something important. A giant ice bridge hung above the crystal, and huge glowing stalactites of ice hung from the ceiling. Foxy whispered to Lumi again, "I have one more trick." Lumi nodded. "Hide and seek?" Foxy smiled. "The final round." Foxy suddenly dashed across the cave again. "Come and find me," he shouted. The Shadow Frost spirit roared with anger and chased him. Foxy ran across the frozen bridge above the crystal. The spirit followed, but Foxy knew the ice bridge was cracked. At the center of the bridge, Foxy stopped. He waited. The spirit rushed toward him. "Nowhere left to run," Foxy grinned. "You're right." Then he jumped aside at the last second. The spirit's heavy step cracked the frozen bridge. Crack! The ice broke. The spirit fell through the bridge and crashed beneath the crystal of winter. At that exact moment, the falling ice struck the dark frost covering the crystal. Boom! The crystal exploded with bright blue light. Snowflakes burst across the cave like a glowing blizzard. The dark frost shattered into tiny pieces. The Shadow Frost spirit cried out as the crystal's pure winter magic pushed it back. "No, the crystal is not yours," Foxy shouted. The glowing light grew brighter and brighter. Finally, whoosh! A powerful wave of winter magic blasted through the cave. The dark spirit dissolved into icy mist and vanished into the shadows. Silence filled the cave. Slowly, the light faded. The crystal of winter floated peacefully again. The cracks had disappeared. Soft snowflakes drifted gently through the air. Lumi hopped toward Foxy. "You did it!" Foxy looked up at the glowing crystal and smiled. "We did it." Far above them, the ice guardians felt the valley grow calm again. The polar bear guardian smiled. The heart of winter is safe. Inside the cave, Foxy and Lumi watched the crystal blow peacefully once more. But Foxy knew something important now. His journey wasn't over yet. Somewhere beyond the frozen valley, his snowy home was still waiting, and a new adventure was about to begin. To be continued in...